was back in November. It's been almost a year. It'll probably be pretty close to exactly a year between my last one and this new one that I'm working on right now. But I think it's good. Then this new one I've spent far more time on than I have any other video. I think it's a step up from what I was doing before. A lot of the times with those, if there were things I didn't quite like or didn't seem to work, I would just, it's still pretty good. It's just leave it. I mean, people will like it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I've been kind of spending a lot more time. I have this theory that like you can sort of double the amount of time you spend on something and it'll only be about 10% better. But sometimes that 10% is worth it and sometimes it isn't. So it kind of depends.
I'd say in general there's about 3 of your videos which stand out for me as some of the best stuff that you've done. And in fact, they've also stood out as well recognized videos in, the TZM community. I mean, you probably know which ones I'm talking about. First one is one that actually courted some controversy to begin with, for those who didn't understand what it was. It was, the Zeitgeist Movement Exposed, which was your, parody video. I absolutely loved that video. I actually showed that to a couple of friends and they were like, well, yeah, he's right. It is a cult sort of thing. And I'm like, guys, you don't know that this is actually a parody video.
Yeah, it's a joke. I was surprised. I'm still surprised by like that video. It's got more views than any other one I've done and it still gets the most comments out of anyone I've done. And I'm still surprised by how many people comment on the video not understanding that it is a satire, that it's being sarcastic. I thought it was so clear and just so obvious and like maybe too over the top, but I guess it wasn't. But I don't know. I've had requests from so many people, oh, you have to take that video down. People are going to get the wrong idea. They're going to think this is all true. And I was like, well, I mean, if you watch that video and you just totally buy what it says and you're against the Zeitgeist movement because of it, then I hate to say it, but I really don't feel like you're someone that is going to get it anyway or someone that we really need advocating this direction.
Yeah, I mean, it sort of plays upon Poes Law. Are you familiar with the idea of Poes Law?
I've seen reference to it on websites, like it's someone is being a Poe when they're basically doing that, like pretending to say be a fundamentalist Christian and making really bad arguments and making themselves look stupid. That's being a Poe, right? Yeah. Yeah,
I mean there's in the last few months I've become a huge fan of the Atheist Experience TV show. And there's one compilation video on YouTube about that, and it's called Poes Law. And it describes perfectly the specific quote from Nathan Poe, I think the guy's name is. And the quote is, without a winking smiley or other blatant display of humor, it is impossible to create a parody of fundamentalism that someone won't mistake for the real thing. And I think that is... And that is one thing that I think you've encapsulated perfectly with your Zeitgeist Movement Exposed video. And it's fooled a hell of a lot of people into thinking that somehow you've become privy to all this cloak and dagger, occultist, communist, Marxist, utopian, technocratic information about what is behind the Zeitgeist Movement and the Venus Project. And it is quite telling of the kind of mentality of the people that are either critical of the Zeitgeist Movement or not privy to the specifics of the train of thought and thus can be critical of it, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Like when I was making it, I was like, oh, this is so silly and just so ridiculous. Like they go into the back and there's immediately like this devil worshipping circle and just, I don't know, it's just on and on with each thing. And like, I guess it just seems that ridiculous to me because I've been involved in the movement and like I know what actually goes on at meetings. You know, you sit at a restaurant and kind of talk about inefficiencies of society. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely created a response with everyone who saw it. Either they loved it and thought it was hilarious, or either thought it was right on the money and that it was exposing the movement, or they were people who supported the movement and thought, oh no, you're giving people the wrong idea.
Yeah, well, some people have actually alluded that sort of thing to me, and to which I would just say, look, mate, just get a sense of humor.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so obviously satire. I mean, come on. I mean, sorry, have I got a blood stain on my mouth? Oh yeah, sorry, that's goat's blood. Sorry about that. But yeah, that video definitely did ring true with a lot of people in the movement to sort of, because I myself definitely did laugh a hell of a lot at that video, just at the very recognition that that even I myself have been accused of very nearly every single thing that is alluded to in that video, and it was cathartic, and it's brilliant that you came out with that video. Another video, it was your video called Capitalism Epic Fail. Yeah. And that video, I actually have you to thank for making that video, for introducing me to the Love Police, because I hadn't heard of them before that, and I saw it in that video, and it sort of caused me to think, well, who the hell are these guys? These guys are really, really funny. And I started to get into that, and that ultimately inspired me to basically get a megaphone myself and start doing my own megaphone activism. So in a sense, you are in part responsible for me getting out on the streets with a megaphone. So thank you very much for that.
That's awesome. Do you have videos? Do you ever videotape yourself on the street, or no?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't seen any of them. I want to check those out.
Yeah, on my YouTube channel is youtube.com/AAUTZM. That's my because I also put up my podcasts in 15-minute videos, because one thing I'm sure you'll be familiar with is when talking to people about this, you'll find that there's quite a lot of people whose attention spans aren't very fast, so you sort of have to try and break things down in short bite-sized segments. I mean, that's the main reason why I created my YouTube channel for that, is to break up my podcasts into 15-minute videos, so they're in 4 parts, and then put them up on there. But I also put up my megaphoning videos and other videos that I've done, like my Why I Advocate video, my 1 year as an activist, 2 years as an activist, 3 years as an activist, plus my police videos as well, where I've been harassed by the police and how I've interacted with them. I've put some of those up, and those have actually been my most popular videos. In fact, my first, because I call them Maidstone Police Fail, because essentially it's where I've been megaphoning and giving out free hugs in Maidstone, near where I live, and where the police have come up to harass me and try to get me to move on, or try to threaten me with arrest, or they want to search me, take my details, blah blah blah, and it's where I've edited in my own commentary bit by bit of exactly what's happening, what they're trying to do, how, why I'm asserting myself, all that sort of stuff. My first video, I don't know how many videos it's got now, but last time I checked, it's got near to 1,000 views. And that's a big deal for me, because normally if one of my videos gets, say, 50 views, then I'm over the moon.
Sure. Yeah.
And, but yeah, that's the main YouTube channel that you need to go to get most of my videos. But also, if you type in Occupy Worthing, into YouTube. There's a guy called Joel Shepherd. His YouTube channel is called Joel Himself, and he's put up his own edits of the activism that I used to do with the Occupy Worthing group. But other than that, I've got a few videos that I've got on the shelf at the moment. I'm actually in the process of making a full length documentary. So, big step for someone like me to go from YouTube videos to that. But if, for anyone familiar with my YouTube channel, then you'll know that my videos are really lengthy as it is. I mean, my last police video altogether, it's 1 hour long in two half hour sections, because because obviously as I'm demonstrating right now, I'm a very long-winded person anyway. But yeah, I'm going out so far on a branch of digression. I'm forgetting where the trunk is, but yeah, that's the AAU TZM. That's my normal YouTube.
Okay, cool. Yeah. It's interesting what you're saying about people's short attention spans and putting out information in bite-sized pieces, because I think that too is a big part of what I eventually came to see as like the biggest reason, or the best reason for doing the kinds of videos I was doing, was a lot of people don't want to sit through Zeitgeist Addendum is 2 hours long, or moving forward even longer, 2 and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So like making these little 10-minute long, 15-minute long tops videos on one kind of topic each, I thought was a much easier way for people to digest the ideas, sort of one at a time, and kind of focusing on one aspect of it, rather than trying to lay everything out all at once in a huge 2 hour long documentary, which I had been flirting with the idea of trying to do a documentary myself, but I couldn't really quite decide on a topic or exactly how I wanted to do it. And then the thought of editing it all it seemed like a really long process. Yeah, for something that I wasn't even sure that I wanted to do. Like I thought it would be really cool to make a documentary and to have that, but I didn't quite know what I could make of it, and I kind of ended up just leaving that to the side, because I thought if I'm going to do it, I should have a really strong idea for it, and I should go into it knowing what I'm going to do and why I want to do it exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you've seen, I've made a few of these videos where I take lectures, because again, like, people don't want to sit through these huge long lectures. Like I have one by Gabor Mate and Jeremy Rifkin and a couple other ones.
Corrections. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Where I'll just cut down. It takes a bit of time, not too long, but I will literally go through and cut out the spaces in between words, or cut out, sentences or little bits where they're thinking, and like even some sections of the talk that I think can just kind of be glazed over. And I'll cut down an hour and a half long talk into 10, 15 minutes and throw some music under it. And it becomes this really disjointed, rapid, like, burst of information that some people seem to really like and some people seem to really not like. But they've gotten a fair amount of views, those ones too. Yeah. And I enjoy watching them myself.
Yeah, I've actually recommend, because your videos, I actually link to quite a few people when discussing different topics. One of them I'll get to in a minute, but yeah, you're because it's the video in question, just for our audience's edification. It's the Redux dubstep mix or remix, sorry, of Dr. Gabor Mate's lecture called Addictions and Corrections. So if you type that into YouTube, you'll find it's just over 10 minutes long. But yeah, I really appreciate things like that when something, you know, because the addictions and